Good morning, all.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. How are you?
Good. Did I miss any? I mean, I know I missed some great stuff yesterday because I wasn't on the call. So I shouldn't even ask if I missed anything. It's a given.
I heard it's a given. I'm trying to get my connection better. So,
No worries. I missed yesterday's call. I apologize. So I was just, my immediate question was, did I miss anything? Because I wasn't on the call. And then I answered my own question because obviously it's a given. I definitely missed something.
well, you can find it if you go to Keller Williams Southern Arizona YouTube's page,
Ah, okay.
and we've updated some. Yeah, yesterday was talking about getting the appointments, and
Well, that would have been a good class for me. So I'm glad that it is somewhere where I can access it.
absolutely. Good morning, the rest of yous. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Diego. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning.
Rest with your cameras on. I'm glad to see you're alive.
Good morning.
Tell me about your weeks. It is Wednesday, and it's Mike's favorite day. If you guys don't know who Mike is, he's the giant camel that likes to walk through theaters screaming about Wednesdays. Come on, no one gets the joke. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you more than you know. It's hump day. Yeah, Mara just got it.
Bad joke.
I love my dad jokes. Well, let me hear about your awesomeness that's going on this week. We're going to jump into our game here in a minute, but I'd love to hear from you.
You already know, but it's a good story, I think. We've been talking about making connections and touching or reaching out to our friends, Facebook or whatever. And a friend from high school, which is more than 20 some years ago, called me Monday and told me, asked me to help her brother. She's a broker, an agent in Phoenix. She's like, my brother wants to buy a house right now. So I went and showed the house and we got into a contract on Monday before noon after this class. So that's a good story, I think.
I love it. Connections.
That's great.
That's what it's all about. Create the relationship. Find the real estate deal. Who else has something awesome?
Well, I was touching base with clients that have done business with me before yesterday because I just figured those would be easy calls, and I haven't been feeling that great the last week. So I was making those calls, wishing them happy Easter, happy spring, and it's nothing going on as far as a deal, but one of my clients had completely gotten not thrown out of work, downsized or whatever, and no longer working. So that's obviously a big life change. And so I was just glad because I even though I call fairly regularly, quarterly, and sometimes you feel like, oh, I just talked to them, but it was good because then I found out, oh, wow, he's gone through this major life change. So I just thought that was a good example of call anyway, find an excuse to call people. And this week's a good excuse because, a holiday, whatever, even if you're not religious. That's why I made it happy spring too. So anyway.
I like it. You always have a reason to call, and that call could literally just be to say hello. Awesome. Well, random bit of trivia for you. Those of you who have cats, have you ever heard your cat chatter out the window? Right? Like that, talking out the window. It's actually a stress factor. When cats can't attack the prey they see, that's actually their stress response. So when your cat is chattering out the window, give it something to play with because it's trying to kill what's on the other side of that window.
All right, Dan, I have a question about that. My cat sits on my chest when I'm sleeping and does that to my face. So is my cat trying to kill me?
Yes. That's exactly what's happening. No, it's because you're not awake and playing with it. because they're stressed that you're not interacting and they can't interact with what they want to. So, well, it is Wednesday. It is a wonderful Wednesday. It is What's Your Number Wednesday. It's our favorite game day where we get to talk about the most random things that happen. And those are the objections in real estate that really keep people from buying the houses and selling the houses that they need to buy and sell, right? Whose fault is it? Theirs or ours? Ours. Yes. Thank you, Teresita. I'm good at reading lips when I get the right answer. Speaking of cats, can I help you? Go away.
I swear they just like showing off their buttholes. That's like, I know I probably shouldn't say that, but that's what they like doing. They're like, hey, look it, it's right here.
It's right here. You are not wrong. But all right, who's going to start us off today? Who wants to be brave and be the first one to come up with a random objection?
I'll be the first one.
Diego, let's do it. Well, Diego, you're working with a buyer. Yeah, man, we'll use you. If you'll kick back some of your commission to help cover our closing costs.
Dan. Well, to be completely honest with you, Dan, I would love to do that, but I do need to pay for a lot of bills just like you do, feed my family, and a lot of other expenses. So it'd be fairly hard to cut back my commission to help you pay for closing costs.
Okay.
Can I comment on that?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know if you heard, but today it's effective April 1st in Arizona. We have the pathway to purchase is officially in effect as of today.
Yep.
So that's up to 10% and $20,000 down towards your down payment officially today. Sorry.
Yep. It's a lending program for select zip codes. Qualifying buyers can get up to 10%. So 10% of the purchase price towards down payment or closing costs up to $20,000. If you don't know about it, reach out to your lending partners.
Hey, Dan, can you help me with the objection you just did? I want to hear how you would handle it.
Diego, thank you for asking, but no.
You missed the last part and then no. No.
No. Thank you for asking, but no. Well, I won't use you because I want an agent this agent said that they're going to give me back a percentage of their commission towards my closing. That's great. Find an agent that's willing to give their money away that it hadn't earned. That's okay. They're not going to look out of your best interest. I'm okay. Well, you clearly don't want my business. You're right. I don't. There is no winning that one. Cat, stop it. Wish you guys could see this guy doing acrobatics in the window. So when someone asks you, yes, I'll use you as my buyer's agent if you give me 1% back as towards closing costs. Okay, you can ask them, okay, where did you find, who told you that that's even possible? Right? Unroot it. You can come across that, Diego saying the same thing as, okay, what's important about me giving back 1%? Well, I don't have the money towards closing costs. Okay, well, then you probably shouldn't be buying a house. Yeah, my job is to be a real estate consultant. And sometimes it doesn't make sense for people to buy a house. I know you want to. I know you want to buy something, but unfortunately, there's an investment that needs to be had on your end, including your down payment, your inspection costs, your appraisal costs, the earnest money. These are all things that we talked about in our buyer consultation that without, it's kind of hard to buy a home. Let me ask you, Diego, when you rented your apartment, did you have to have a deposit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, would they let you move in without that deposit?
Nope.
Did they pay for your first month's rent for you?
Nope.
Okay. What makes you think a real estate agent's going to do any of that?
True.
So I find it very offensive when someone asks me that.
Yeah, Well, with the situation I had, I mean, pretty much the exact same thing. The only reason I was gonna do it because it was pretty much family. But then I told you the rest. But
Yeah, family
Yeah.
will take advantage of you, man.
yeah, I was just like, damn, like I don't know. I didn't know how to handle the objection. I've never had that.
No, it's okay. I'm glad you did. It's one of those things, and you got to be able. You have to be willing to say no. I wish I could. I really do. No. Thank you for asking, but no. There are some cultures out there that are very stern on that. Like they won't use you. The entire culture won't use you if you don't give back. Pay them back. And I tell them, I'm sorry that, hey, get your real estate license. I'd gladly pay you a referral fee. So you want to give it another shot, Jacob? Help your buddy
Yeah.
out? All right, Jacob. Jacob, I'll use you, but I want to give only if you give me 1% of your commission towards my closing costs.
Sorry, but no.
Well, what makes you say that?
Well, if I gave up some of my commission and like, why would I work my hardest for you if you're not gonna give me everything that I earned? I messed it up. I want to try again on that.
Well, Jason said he would do it, and I'll just use Jason then.
Well, you can go use Jason, but is Jason gonna give you his all if he's willing to give up some of his commission?
Good point.
Yeah. So why don't we work together and do the full commission and get your house listed?
There you go. I like it. Go for the close. All right, Diego, you want to get another shot? I think we lost Diego. He will be missed. Moment of silence. Thank you. Another way of handling that tactfully, you said, thank you for asking, but no. Another thing you could say is, well, it's kind of it's against ADRE guides that pay commission to a non-licensed person. Right? You can go that route. It's against the law. It's against my license to pay a non-licensee commission. That's why I tell people, hey, get your broker's license or get your real estate license. I'll gladly pay a referral. Because who's going to pay $1,500 just to get $1,000 or something like that?
Can you blame your broker and just say your broker just doesn't allow for that?
You can, absolutely. You can say, sorry, but no, my broker doesn't allow it. And then we'll go somewhere else. Okay, great. Sometimes you got to be willing to say no. And I'm very proud of, because Diego kind of got cornered on this one. Diego got called out because he told me about the situation, but Diego handled it perfectly and he said no. He stuck to his guns. He followed his morals, and he has a business standard that he stands behind. And that's what I want you guys all to develop, is your business standard. Right? Business standard. We lost Diego. Hopefully he comes back to us. All right, who's next? Dun, dun, dun. First one not to raise your hand. Sunshine, that's you. It's only because I saw your daughter walk in the background.
They're all walking in the background.
All right, Sunshine. You're
Okay.
random. Who's got a random objection for Sunshine? Jason, what do you got for her?
I want 345,000. Don't care what it appraises at.
The market value on the house is what? Give her some.
310,000.
Okay. All right, Sunshine.
All right. Well, I completely understand that you want that money. That would be great to get on your house. How long are you willing to list your house for? I mean, I know you really wanted to get moving and get that new home purchased.
I I'll wait as long as it takes. I want 345,000 for my house.
All right. We could certainly do that. It's going to take a while, and we're going to have some issues with funding. You're going to have to wait for a cash buyer or someone who's willing to make up the difference in the appraisal.
Okay.
All right. We would certainly get a lot more traffic if we list it closer to its appraised value and get a bidding war going.
Yeah, but I've been watching the stocks, and I see like the new houses, how much they're charging for the supplies. So I want 345.
Well, your house is not new. It's in a good location, but it's not brand new. It does need some upgrades. So that's going to bring down its value a little bit compared to those new builds.
I don't know what I'm actually going through that right now. That's why I have a home in Red Rock that he wants 345. It appraised at 310. The buyer is willing to come up 10,000, and so I don't know. I got him to go to 338, but we're still way off on the prices. And my objection was there's nothing in Red Rock that has ever sold over 300. You're getting the most. You'll be the first one over 300, and you're 320 right now with the 10,000 over appraisal. But I keep trying to find the pain of, well, let's get you to move into Tennessee. We sell this. I don't care. I've already paid cash for this house. I don't have a mortgage. I want 338 or 345. That's all I'm taking.
So what's important about 338?
That's what I asked, and that's the price that I want, 338.
Okay, great.
Did you ask him how he's gonna feel when the deal goes and it's gone totally and nobody else comes for over 300?
Yeah, it's okay. Somebody will buy it at 345 or 338.
Can I throw
You might
something?
just ask him.
Yeah, go ahead, Diego. Welcome back. Welcome back.
No, I just want to say, doesn't the appraised value got to stay in the home for 6 months or no?
Yep.
Only if it's an FHA loan. Only if it's an FHA loan. So meaning FHA on first buyer, then FHA on second buyer, same appraisal. Still have to get a new appraisal, but the same value. If it's a VA, USDA, or a cash or conventional, it all changes. So Jason's guy could say, you know what, we're not budging. It's 338 or no deal. You guys pay the difference or go back on the market.
Okay. Learn
How
something
old
new.
is this guy? You don't mind me
78.
asking? Okay, so this is my grandfather. If you can find a way, have you broken it down, like how much he's going to be spending over the course of the next couple months? And that's just essentially all he's doing is putting that money. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So if you could somehow, I'm not a math person, but if you could break it down for him to show him what he's spending, I don't know if you have already, but this sounds exactly like my grandpa.
Yeah,
He doesn't have a mortgage. So
Yeah,
the part that I went to was that I broke it down since he talks about investments or whatever. And I said that you realize that you got a 55%, more than a 55% return on investment on this price. And that we live in Red Rock. There's nothing out here. We're not in the foothills. So to get 345 is going to be a needle in a haystack. So I was finally able to, he was hell bent on 345, but was able to get at least a 338. But we have till Thursday for this. And I think the buyer's hopefully going to go with that one, even though it's still low price.
Again, it goes back to with Diego's. You gotta be willing to say no. And sometimes it's gonna suck as you put the money in the marketing and getting invested. Hopefully you got some good ads on it so you can get some buyer traffic and other leads from it. But there is nothing more difficult to sell than an overpriced home and an unrealistic seller. I have had a house that sat on the market for nearly a year. It almost had a birthday. Had to buy it a cake before it finally sold because the seller just would not come down on his price because he's like, I believe the market's coming up. And he got less than he could have had he priced it originally the correct way. His next door neighbor sold the house for the price he wanted in 3 days. If he would have priced it appropriately. So, Jason, you get to pick our next scripter.
Let me see who we got. Let's go with Teresita.
Teresita. She's on the phone.
All right. Sarah, since you chimed in, we'll have you do it.
Calling out Miss Coon.
What's my thing?
All right. Mara, give her random objection.
Shoot. Let's see. Buyer, I guess a buyer just wants to wait. The market's too high. Everything is just too expensive. I want to wait.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, everything's just astronomical right now.
Okay, and so are we looking for a new home for you as well?
Yes. She's a buyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I remember correctly, after our conversation, you're trying to look into moving into another home, and luckily for you right now, we have actually found that home. So I know that you are a little bit hesitant, but hold on, I'm distracted. I want to park right now. All right. So okay. So can you tell me why you're so nervous, or what makes you nervous?
I just think all the prices are so inflated that I'm just not ready to buy.
Okay. Okay, so I understand that. Have you gone ahead and gotten pre-qualified to know what you're qualified for?
Yes.
And what interest rate you might be in at, so you know that that interest rate is not going to get any lower ever again.
Well,
You know that, right?
it's just the prices are so high. I get that there's low interest rates, but
Okay, so we have the low interest rate and we have the high prices. Believe it or not, your payment is going to be about the same, if not a little bit less typically right now because of the interest rate. So yes, while you may be paying top dollar for your home, you are also getting more home for your dollar. Does that make sense?
well, I get it. Everything just seems really inflated. We just don't see the value in the homes with the prices like they are right now.
I absolutely understand that. Well, how about this? Why don't we just start taking a look at some houses since you are pre-qualified? And if something ever comes, or if something comes up over the course of the next week or so, at least you can say, hey, I like this. And then that way, if anything does spark your interest, at least it tells you that, it might be a good idea. And if you don't find anything, at least you know that, now is not the time, and that answers your question. How does that sound?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we will, I'll see you tomorrow. Are you available tomorrow for a quick little visit?
Probably.
Okay. Morning or afternoon?
Afternoon.
Okay. And between I've got between 2 and 4.
4 is better.
Okay. Perfect. I will see you at 4. And I do believe, if I remember correctly, you are a tea drinker?
Yes, thank you.
I will bring you some Earl Grey as I come. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
I love that you brought the drink into it.
Yeah. So that was really hard. So I don't know how I went about that, but yeah.
All right, guys, some feedback. Anyone want to add something for her? This is groupology. It's where groups help each other.
I just get this a lot right now with certain buyers.
I think it would be helpful if they can put numbers on paper for her so she can actually have a visual to see perhaps that it's not a bad time to buy right now. Even though, yes, housing prices are up, you're still going to get a really good deal on your home. You're not basically wasting money by paying a little bit more right now.
Right.
You're going to be saving money, They need to see that they're going to still be either saving money or if not spending around the same amount than if they wait later on. So what if later on there's nothing to find? What if they find the house now? And
It's
what's-
like buying Gucci at Nordstrom Rack, right? I mean, that's kind of the analogy that I just came up with. It's like buying top of the line name brand, but at the lowest price you can get. So you're getting Gucci for Nordstrom Rack dollars. Such a genius.
Gucci at Ross.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know if that's Gucci. So Mara kept saying the prices are too high, and the only thing that kept coming to mind is compared to what?
In the past.
What do you mean, Miss Mara?
Well, I just expect the prices to go down. I don't know. It's irrational, man.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Miss Mara. It's completely irrational. And looking at the fact that the prices are going up, well, if we compare house prices to 30 years ago, they're astronomical. They're 100 times higher than they were 30 years ago. If we compare them to last year, they're not that much different. So if we compare them next year, what's going to be the change?
I would say they'll probably go up, but apparently these people don't believe that. So
Right, and that's the thing.
everyone's concerned about a crash.
The economists are telling us, and this is the thing, is everyone, I've heard this conversation from other buyers like yourself, is we're just going to wait for the market to crash. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't have a crystal ball and I can't dictate the future. But the one thing I can tell you is right now we have no similarities in market than we did in 2008 when we had the big crash. And what I mean by that is right now we don't have a balloon. We don't have a market that's going to pop. What we have is supply and demand issues. So many people are working from home that they don't want to sell. We don't have the inventory that we did last year. We don't have the seasonal inventory influx that we normally have, which just increases buyer demand. And now with more people than ever making moves in real estate and moving all over the country, not just moving to Tucson, we got people moving out of Tucson as well. It's created a tighter funnel of supply and demand, and that's why prices are going up. When supply goes down, demand goes up, prices go up. Yes, I am, Jason. If it were the opposite, like if there was too much supply and not enough demand, then we'd see prices going down. But in the next 3 to 5 years, we don't expect to see any major changes in the market. The one variable that is changing and that we can watch change is the interest rate. When the government gets involved, they start to try to regulate and mitigate and throttle things with the interest rate. And that never works out for anyone. Right now, we're seeing all-time lows in real estate interest because they're trying to make it easier for people to buy homes. So if you're looking to make an investment in your next home, now's the time to do so because you can expect the market continue to climb. And if you've got a fear about it collapsing, let me ease your mind. What we have right now is not artificial. Does that make sense to everyone? Right now we have a what? A supply and demand issue. Economics 101. Supply and demand. Just like Gucci. You know why Gucci's so expensive? Quality and limited. They don't mass produce Gucci. They got little Keebler elves in Italy that sew these things together. I think. I don't know. I've never owned a Gucci anything. I don't even know what it is. I know it's in rap songs all the time. So when you got buyers right now, you're going to have a lot of them. Oh, now's not the time. Okay. What do you define as the right time? You know, what would a perfect time to buy look like? Ask these questions. Get them to draw the picture. But when they keep saying the prices are too high, okay, compared to what? Notice how Mara tripped on a word. She's like, I don't know. It's a smokescreen.
I did outline this a little bit for a client on an email, and he came back because I said we don't expect, interest rates, to stay this low, and we're trying to counsel folks to buy sooner than later, really. And he came back with, well, maybe we could get my my dad or her dad to move in with us and we could help care for him. So he was trying to get creative to see how could we buy sooner than later, because I had counseled them, to do so in an email. So sometimes they'll listen.
Yeah, just give them the advice. This is our job, is to counsel people. We are the shepherds. We are not the wolves. Too many people think that we're wolves. Oh, you're just after a paycheck. God, I've helped so many people for free. If you had to pay per hour for your education, what do you think it costs? Right? So when people ask you for advice, they're essentially dipping into your education. So when you answer a question for someone, are you not helping them for free? Hey, how's the market? That's a question. And you're giving them a professional response based on your education and experience. Some of us garner a little higher rate than others because we've been in it longer or we've paid more attention. But we're here to help. We're here to guide. We're here to shepherd people into making good decisions. And sometimes it doesn't make sense for them to buy a house, and don't be afraid to tell them no. Don't subject your morals, your ethics, and your business standards to anything. Because ultimately, the end of the day, that'll be one deal you lost with them. Don't let it cost you your career. So, ending on a heavy note there, but it's important for you guys to understand your business, your standards. Have a higher standard of excellence and you will prevail. I've never been asked to reduce my commission or give my commission on a buyer side. I have agents that have told me they've been asked. And I've worked through those clients, but the best response is it's not my standard of practice. Sorry. If I do it for you, I got to do it for everyone. I'm not about that. Someone says it's not the right time, you try to get them to understand compared to what? Somebody's unrealistic about a sales price, help them understand the logic behind it, but be willing to walk away. Again, you're losing one deal. Don't let it cost you your career. People get frustrated, do stupid shit. Don't be those people. So it is Wednesday. We did the random round of Wednesdays, I thought, today. I just wanted you guys to pick each other's objections, and we're going to do this again because if you can come up with an objection for somebody else, it means that you've mastered it in your mind. So think about that in the next coming days. There are some more objections that you've got you need help working through. Don't be afraid to bring them out. So all you got to do is put your hand up and high five.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
We lost them.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Well, this is
All right,
bye.
bye, guys.
Have a good
High five.
You guys high five me right out of the meeting.
You didn't do a thing. What happened? You
Yeah,
left.
that's funny.
I did it on purpose to mess with you, so.
Nice. Nice. You ditcher.
That's stupid.
I
Bye,
made
guys.
you laugh. Made you have a good day. You guys go out there and do something awesome, okay?
Yep.